What's the haps? I'm Meroka and welcome to Worlds Adrift. So peaceful on this island without Tulkas on it. I may stay here forever. Or we could do what we agreed to do last time and build a ship and go rendezvous with Tulkas over on that island. And I also recognize that last time we were sailing together there was some confusion between me calling the green island that island. When I said the green island, I meant that island because it had green on it. But that island is also green. Also, so is that one. Also, kind of so is this one. And if we're talking about islands with green on it, so is that one. So there may be some confusion as to which island we're going to. I hope Tulkas understood I meant that island. Because that's where I'm going. I don't know. Yeah, I've thrown together some designs and got a few resources. So I've got one here that I'm calling the Pelican. Because it looks vaguely similar to a Halo Pelican, which is pretty cool, honestly. I'm not sure which way is the front on this thing. That's the front. Okay, so that's the front. Basically, this is the tower recipe, except I took the top 2 decks off because the tower has way too many decks and doesn't need anywhere near that many decks. It's kind of got... I would almost call it some Delta Wing kind of thing going on, but it doesn't. It's a big, roundish, top-heavy ship with some below decks going on. That's what it is. So we are going to make the frame out of... I have some tin, which should hopefully be okay. Decks, I guess we got the only thing going. Elm. Lots of that. There's a lot of wood involved in this. Not quite as heavy on the metal. I think this is what we're going to make. 3 minutes to craft. I hope this isn't going to be too heavy. My weight is going to be the biggest concern with all of this, I'm sure. But let's make it exist and see how heavy it is. If it's too heavy, I may have to go back to the drawing boards, but we shall see. And through the magic of video, I now have a functional ship. Whether we have a bubble... Oh, we do have a bubble. I expected the bubble to appear, but the bubble's okay now. So it's, I now recognize not terribly Pelican-like at all, and it has some very strange-looking textures. Oh, good, good. I'm glad I built a good ship here. So this is going to be the back. This is pretty much where the helm's going to have to sit. I'm thinking we can have like a gun deck kind of thing here. Maybe a gun on both sides if weight capacity permits. And engines go underneath. Engines can go under the wings here, mostly. I'd also contemplated putting wings here, but that's also where I was contemplating putting guns, so there could be some conflict there, I suppose. I guess guns could quite comfortably sit on here, actually. That's probably not a bad place to put guns. Okay, I'm glad I thought this through. Alright, let's make some things to go on here. I think we need a sky core first, though. So let's make this far enough away that it does not cause problems. We've had enough problems with this in the past. Bada boop. Hey, look at that. So a sky core is where things begin. Should probably make this... Oh, man! Man, we had a titanium one before. It was titanium! Ah, now we don't get a titanium core. Part of me would like to make it as light as possible, I guess. I guess I can do that. I've got enough tin to make that possible. Should I do that? I mean, I guess the enhancer then also needs a further 60, and the generator needs a further 60. And that's exactly the amount of tin I have. Beautiful. Okay, this is gonna happen, I suppose. Let's make one of those. Basically, I just need to... And yeah, I need to check, see how heavy the frame actually is, I suppose. Let's have a look at that. I've got about... Until we get to more exotic lands and better equipment, I have a limit of 1,500. I'm at 500 already. I am 1/3 of the way through the weight limit. But I always expected, you know, that to be the heaviest bit, so... That's not too unusual. It's just going to be whether I can get everything plated up as well or not that's going to be interesting. So, put this kind of center of mass, I suppose. I don't know if that really matters, but... Like there? That's pretty central. That's not very central, is it? It wants to be further forward. I was lining it up with the beam there. There. Is okay-ish. A little more to the left. Boop. That's still not centered, but fine. It's close enough for government work. We want one enhancer. Which is also... Wait. We got this right? Yeah, 120 tin left. Okay. I hope nobody ever shoots at my Sky Core, because it is going to be flimsier than the last Sky Core. But hopefully this will be the machine that ultimately I'm hoping can get us through a storm wall. The plan I built here... Oh, this is facing the wrong way around. Oh, I see. It's pretty picky about where I can go. Okay, yeah, that's where that's going to go. So we can put one of these on that... Like, that's easy to place because there is only one place that can go. And we want a... whatever the other thing is. The generator. The other two... I have spent a little bit of time looking at the wiki, actually. And I know there are 2 more upgrades. I think you can... I think the recipes probably only appear in the areas that are harder to get to, which means you need to build a ship that is capable of getting to the harder to get to areas. So I'm hoping that this thing I can design functionally and elegantly to get us through a storm wall. Which is why, firstly, I want to put the engines on the underside, and secondly, I'm thinking I might manage to put some sort of lightning defenses on top, if weight permits. If weight does not permit, I may just lose the cannons for the sake of actually being able to make it go. So what else do we need? We've got the essentials. Well, we haven't. We've got the bit that makes it go up. We have not actually got any essentials. The helm is fairly essential, one might argue, I feel. It requires a casing, which can probably be made of elm, because that makes it really easy to fix up as well, actually. If that gets damaged, no big deal, you know? What is lightweight? Lightweight, though. Bronze is not lightweight. Iron, I think, is lightweight. I'm sure we've been over this before, but iron weighs 26, bronze weighs 28. I think iron is the lightest material I have. Yeah, copper's even heavier. Iron is now just my lightest material. I have not been able to find, firstly, as much tin as I actually really wanted, and secondly, any titanium at all. It's a shame because you'll know titanium is my favourite. It's great for building lots of wonderful things out of, like sky cores. So this is just going to sit front and center, I think is where this needs to be. Do I have a bar in my... I have a bar in my view? Oh, God. Great. Oh, who designed this? Oh, wait, that would be me. That's literally as far forward as it goes. Is that a problem? Oof. A little bit. The alternative is that I could move it back a little bit, and we can use the bar to put... Ooh. Yeah, we could use that to put instruments on. Ooh. Let's pretend that was my idea all along. I'm going to put the instruments on the bar. Yeah, that's cool. So I can sit here and then I can look around at all of my instruments on my heads-up display. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. If I can put them where I want them to be and read them comfortably while I'm flying along, that's actually kind of awesome. So I may want a personal reviver, that's just a thought. That can probably be made of lightweight and common and abundant materials that I can repair easily in a pinch. But I'm quite aware that when we made it out of lighter weight materials, I think it was a few kilos lighter than that. So, put on some weight. I may need to, maybe I just need to, hang around on the island for, 3 more days until I can get hold of enough tin to make things go. It should probably be right behind my helm, I suppose. Since I don't have one registered at the minute, I might as well register myself to it. Right. Any other essentials? Power generator is going to be pretty essential to make an engine go. Sails is, generally considered fairly essential, but I like throwing caution to the wind and not putting a sail on, because then you can go with engines. And also, you save yourself a few kilos, quite a few kilos, I guess. I can save myself the weight of the bar pipe, because I've got my own structural things going on now. Whether we're going to be able to put panels in is another matter, and how much storage I can get. But we need the essentials first. Let's sort those out first and foremost. Okay, my options for wings pretty much seem to be weak with great power and not a lot of pivot speed, weak with decent power and decent pivot speed, or strong but no good at anything. We've yet to see, really. I mean, I honestly don't particularly see how wings provide power to you, but I can certainly see pivot speed being a thing. If I had something that was really good at pivot speed but not the other things, that I guess would be what I would want to go with. So in lieu of that, mayhaps we just go with a good all-rounder? 15 resilience sounds like one lightning bolt. We'll take that off the ship though. But then again, I don't know how many lightning bolts it takes to take the 33 resilience off the ship. Oh, there's a curious manta ray. Let's shoot him later. For now, we need to bear in mind the aileron does power and pivot speed. The casing is the resilience. And the mechanical internals are power and pivot speed. It's maybe a case of use iron for everything kind of affair, really. You feel? It's a good all-rounder material. It's not like anything requires electrical or heat. And yeah, there's no electrical or heat capacity tolerances necessary here, so I think we'll just use these. Okay, I'll be honest, when I was putting together the design for the ship, like, this middle bit here, from here to here, in the designer, it looked straight, it looked vertical. I now realize it is less vertical. This one is not stuck on very well at all, if I'm honest. I just kind of grabbed them and placed them on just so that they didn't fall off the island as wings are, you know, want to do. Is this forward? It is forward. Good. The forward is pointing forward. Good. We have wings. The ship has wings. They are angled down. Admittedly, the wings on the last one were angled slightly down as well, and it kind of worked out okay in the end. That one's angled way more down, though. Like, hilariously down. Let's try and get it angled up a little bit. That's I think that's about as good as it's ever going to get, really. Unless I were to put them below decks, which is kind of weird, especially as that's where I'm going to be putting engines in just a moment. So let's peruse the engine options. So the most power I can eke out of engine is 28, but its resilience is not crazy high. If I take one that's 25 power, it has got better resilience. The flip side of which is that its overheat limit seems to be pretty low. At the same time, I've never seen an engine overheat. No matter how long we've gone with an engine, we've flown for ages with an engine. I think we've been through like almost entire fuel tanks before and never overheated an engine, so quite what you've actually got to do to overheat an engine, I don't know. That's just a fairly well-rounded, fairly strong one, actually. That's a very low-powered one. That's a very low-powered one. I don't think I want that. I think just losing just 3 of that power in favor of having a resilience seems like that would be a good option. So now we need to make the decision. Combustion internals obviously is that is our overheat and fuel efficiency. If we can be more heat resistant, that would be probably pretty good. Iron, it's 30. Iron's nice and lightweight. I like iron. Iron's all right. Iron, reasonably heat resistant for its modest weight. Sounds like a fairly solid call, I think. So that's that. Casing is going to be how strong we are, so I think bronze. Propeller is power, so yeah, stick some bronze in there. And mechanical is also tied to heat, I think, there. So I guess you put iron in there. I think this is what I did before, honestly, didn't I? So I put iron in there. Iron there, bronze there. Okay, I think we got a thing. Okay, I got 2 of these bad boys. Let's pop these on underneath on the below decks. Not so the propellers go through the walls. That's I always feel like that's got to be a recipe for disaster when the propellers are like cutting through the deck of your ship. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe not. So, are they about equal? Always hard to tell. I think that one wants raising up just a touch. Just a little above where it currently is. And now I think they're about equal. Suppose we could get on board and find out. Okay, that leaves us the other main point of interest for a ship is its cannons, of course. How much room have we got to play with? Ooh, we have got 460 kilos to play with. And we could probably fill that quite comfortably with cannons. If I would put 2 cannons on, I think we might go overboard. How much is a cannon likely to weigh? Tier 2 cannons. Actually, that doesn't seem like that would weigh a lot. I don't know, let's find a good, well-rounded cannon. I mean, mostly, let's be honest, these are mostly for sitting on. That's probably the best well-rounded one, actually, I think, that I've got. Let's have a nosy at how heavy this thing's going to wind up if I were to use it. Ooh, that's not insane actually. At 80, I could manage with a cannon that weighs 80 kilos. A ship that weighed 80 kilos would be great. You could probably lift it with Atlas lifters. But actually, let's see. Some of this needs to be a bit more. Some of this probably needs better materials in it. The barrel needs to be heat resistant. The ammo loader, I think, needs to be heat resistant. The casing. No, actually, the ammo loader probably wants to be bronze, I guess. So all this weighs 85. All right, let's go with these. All right, let's get these mounted. I guess the fact that this juts out a little bit is good, because then you've got some room to look up and aim around. That's okay. So we can pop one on, say, here. Can I reach the other one from here? Whoop, maybe. Yeah, gotcha. Didn't even have to climb down. Woo! So how far out did I have that one stuck? Well, it's kind of hanging over the edge a little bit. That's okay. And the other one should be like about there. Then your firing arc is back into the ship. That's always fun. And forward. Cool. So we are, to be fair, we are not protected from the rear. So in order to actually attack us from the rear, we actually can't really fire at that. So, because our ship is in the way. We need like a tail gun. It's up like here. We shall do that maybe when I've got more weight capacity. So, right, how much play have I got in this? About 300 kilos of play. I never did make a fuel tank slash power generator thing, so thought occurred it might well be useful to have one of these chaps on board, just so that we can actually, you know, power the engines. That'd be a good one. Whether I don't oh, I'm stuck in my wall. Do I want this below decks? I feel like I might want this below decks, but I don't know. I might. Yeah, let's pop that there for the moment. What I'm intrigued as to is whether I can put stairs in here, and it's looking like I can. That is going to be a thing I want. So yeah, I could. This might be all right then. The fuel tank might actually want to be at the front then, or just here. This is really close to the engine, sky core. You know what I mean. Yeah, this could work. Now I want stairs. Stairs are going to want to go in here. Okay, that's pretty much where stairs want to be. That takes you up and down between the decks. That's pretty cool. I dig that a lot, actually. I like that. Should it be even further forward? No. I think that's okay. I'm glad it does divide these panels into a grid, because I was a little bit concerned that when you look at these bars, I thought it was just going to take this entire chunk out, and that's one deck. Now you can take this chunk out. That's okay then. So everything's okay up here. That's fine. Where are we at weight-wise? 250 kilos before we can no longer go up. And I still need to put lamps on here. Lamps are important. And panels. Probably some panels. Probably look at putting some large panels on this. But how much are they going to weigh? They're going to weigh... Oh, 5 kilos for a large panel? Hello, let's just make those. It's going to be perfect. That would fit on this bit. Just nice, I guess. Except for the bit where it goes through the ceiling. Yeah, that's less nice. I guess if I scooch it down, will it just sort of wrap around the bottom instead? Yeah, don't go near the bottom. That's that will kill you, I guess. I should just put like the long medium panels on there, I suppose. Yeah, maybe I just need to make a lot of long medium panels, because there's a lot of bits on my ship where I'm looking at this and it's like, this is going to be a dangerous panel to build. I should maybe not build these panels. Right. So that can go on there enough. It's a lot better. Yes, let's stick with these. Before we completely overburden ourselves with all the panels and things, worth noting that I still haven't put these bloody flight instruments on. So they're not crazy essential, because I don't have the good flight instruments, but it would be useful to know how much fuel I have. So I can pop this on, like, here. And I can look at my fuel here. Yeah, check that out. Cool. It's pretty neat. Fuel is one of the less essential ones, which is why I put it off to the side. It's just like, I just need to glance at that occasionally and go, yep, that's that. Heading indicator is a little bit more useful, particularly when you can't see where you're going through a cloud or a storm or whatever. So I might want to pop this somewhere close to the front. So somewhere over there seems decent. Yep, now we can see our heading whilst we're looking around at flying. I still don't like quite how much of my particular view is actually obstructed by a bar, but oh, never mind. Right, what else have I missed? What critical things have I missed? Storage is definitely a critical thing that I have missed. I have not made one of these storage containers before, and a little bit of me is concerned because it's going to use a lot of wood, and I've gone through my wood far faster than I anticipated that I would, and I still need to make a lot more panels. But at the same time, this might be a good one. I don't know. I could also make it out of oak. That's not a big deal, I guess. Hinges fine. Do they look different if you make it out of metal? I guess they probably do. I guess they look like that if you make it out of metal. Let's make it out of wood. So that's 35 kilos. I wish there was something on the stats down here that told you just quite how much storage it had, just like a capacity stat. I recognise that the implication would be that using different materials would make it store more, and that's just crazy talk. But I don't know. Let's see what this does for us. I don't know which way is forward on it. I don't think it matters which way is forward. Is there a forward? Oh yeah. It's kind of. I think basically you need to rotate everything. Goddamn Thuntamites. You need to rotate everything 3 times, apparently, to make it face that way. Get out of my ship! I'm gonna have to fight that later when I cut down more trees, but... Oh yeah, these actually pretty good storage capacity for the space that they take up on your ship. Ooh, I like those. I may use those. Probably want one of the little ones, like a mounted box or what have you, for putting the fuel in like we did before. Those are okay. We'll make the casing out of oak again. There's no real risk that these are going to get damaged too much, I don't think. I hope. If they do, whoops, I lose everything that's in it. That's okay, we've lost everything before. That's how we came to be here today. So this wants to be mounted on a thing. On this wall might not be a bad call. I guess I'll put more panels around the front as well, though. But for the moment, I'll pop it on there. That's pretty cool. I've just got a little storage box. It is a tiny storage box. With a little storage box just on the wall there, and that's pretty neat. I dig it. Okay, I'm up to 1347 kilos. Eesh. I don't think I can afford to put too many chests on. I recognise the chests weren't crazy heavy, but at this point every kilo counts. And you know how I shaved like 60 kilos off on the engines? At this point those 60 kilos are kind of making a difference. If I didn't have those 60 kilos, I would be in a tricky position. So 30 kilos, can I really afford that? Technically, yes. Practically, if I want to do the things I want to do, no. So with that said, I think I need to do the things I want to do, and the things I want to do is make something for the lightning to strike on the top of it. Instead of the wood, well, hopefully it wouldn't strike the wood. That doesn't conduct electricity, but the wings are probably the most prominent target, followed by the engines. Maybe also the guns. Those would get struck by lightning. I need something to be a more enticing target. Since everything's made of kind of bronze and iron so far, and my frame made of tin, none of these things are electrically conductive. The logic that I have been led to believe works, from reading the Worlds Adrift forums, is that if I were to make the decks out of copper, which weigh 15 kilos, ouch. How much do they weigh out of wood? Okay, so I'm per panel that I'm replacing, I'm essentially adding 10 kilos to the ship. Ouch. It needs to be done though, because yeah, I need to put my most electrically conductive material onto the top of it, so that well away from all of my things, this is the bit that gets struck. So if I put like 3 or 4, would I put 5? Put a big cross in the top, so that's just like this is where this lightning. This is where you strike. Or straight down the middle, away from all the components. That might actually be the best bet. Let's remove the decks. Take them out. Grab that one. And yeah, so if lightning strikes as we go through a storm wall, and if my theory is correct, that's the bit that gets shot. Now, what is this? Someone made... I don't know what someone has made here. It is a deck. It is made of lead. Screw you and your lead decks. That's neither helpful in the heart of a storm, nor is it really going to be useful in terms of the weight capacity. Right, so you come with me. Go. Can I pop it in from here? Come on. Yep, got it. I managed to drop a panel on my head, and I'm not a smart man. Let me go get my things back. I was just stood under it while it crafted, and then it fell on my head, and now I regret everything. Oh boy. And judging by the number of copper I had, I think... I think that second one I crafted out of bronze, didn't I? I thought the number looked wrong when I crafted it, and then it turns out it was wrong. Look how it's a different colour as well. That's because I were to go... Ding! Yeah, I made that out of bronze. Brilliant. Go me. Derp. Okay, so 1379.9 is the current figure. Other luxuries that I strongly feel we do need, before we get to putting as many panels on as I can muster, is... No, it's, lamps. Lamps is what it is. And to that end, I realise I haven't actually collected any fuel, so I shall go do that. Okay, I have managed to scrounge together enough fuel to make one lamp and fill my fuel tank. It's probably not enough lamps. I probably want more lamps than this, but it's okay. I also managed to find one panel which turned into 15 aluminum, which is turned out that was a lot of work to salvage 15 aluminium. Hang around with Tulkas too much. It's one of those words that I started saying ironically, and now I don't say ironically anymore. I just say aluminum. Woo! Light. Let there be light. Let there also be an understorm, which I hope isn't going to wreck my ship and my things, because that is what understorms are designed to do. Wreck things. I set up a shipyard for the purposes of crafting my ship, or at least the blueprints, the other day. Within 24 hours, understorms had removed it entirely, so it's concerning. I don't think understorms are designed to ruin ships in any way, shape, or form, though, because they're player built. We don't want to ruin those things. I mean, technically these are player built, but they're also permanent features on the landscape that do need something doing with. And just like that, I guess the storm's over. I guess there wasn't much to erase. Right, panels, I think, want to be moved into more prominent positions, because I think that's about all that's really left to do. Unless I'm desperate to have 2 lamps, and, well, you know I am. I would love to have 2 lamps, but... Oh, other parts to... Oh, of course, because I put the thing on it. I can't move it while it has this attached, so... Stick that on there. That went on the engine. That just went on the engine. Let's move that there. Attach that to... Yeah, since this is the way I'll be going around, it'd be nice to just go yoink, take the fuel out of there, pop it in the engine. That's all good. That is all good. Oh, hey, there is fuel right here. I hadn't even noticed it. It's hiding in the bubble. Good, good, good. That will... You know what, I think I can afford to make another lamp now. How heavy were those lamps? 7. Ooh, this is using a lot of my weight limit, isn't it? 13 kilos? That's 26 kilos of my weight limit on lamps alone. Do not underestimate how important lamps are on your ship. How will you be able to see where you're going if you don't have lamps, quite frankly? But I would also really like some armor, in case anybody tries to eat us, or kill us, or both. But hey, with lamps I'll be able to see where I'm shooting. Okay. I mean, to be fair, I think we're reasonably past the stage in the game where people are trying to kill each other. Most people at this point are probably just like, hey, another player, that's cool, and I'm on board with that. So, I could put a flag on here, that's more weight. I could put a crow's nest on, and that's more weight. We could put panels on. Panels weighed... How much did panels weigh? The medium panels that I love so dearly weigh 4.28 kilos. And the ship that I love even more dearly weighs 1407! Woo! I can afford to put about 20 panels on. 24, maybe 23, 24, I think, panels. Medium panels. That's enough, right? Let's make a couple, just so that my ship isn't completely threadbare. But I don't think I can put many of these on. I mean, I guess the priority should be to cover up, like, where components kind of technically attach to the ship, like the wings. Make it look like there's something actually holding the ship together. Frankly, that should be, even if that bit's just really for cosmetic purposes. Sure. I've covered up the engines. That's okay. Cover up this. I feel like I should put something at the front to cover up the fuel tank as well, and something at the back to patch up these holes. But beyond that, I think we're almost flight worthy. Okay, I've got some fuel, and I think it's pretty panelled up. It's looking a bit ramshackle, but frankly, every ship in this game looks a little bit ramshackle. So I think that's okay. I think the only way to really get into the ship is through from when you're on top, at any rate, is through the cockpit, I suppose. But hey. And then below decks we can drop down. Actually, just generally the only way onto the ship is through the cockpits. Don't know if I'm in love with that particular design feature, but it should suffice. You're not going to fall out of the ship terribly easy. We have places to store things. We have places to put our fuel. Just on the wall here. It's cute. And most importantly, I haven't checked actually, I think I'm still within the limits. 1459, 40 kilos spare. I could put more panels on if I wanted. I don't want, but I could. I could put 2 more lamps on if I wanted. Or a single chest. That might be the best use of the weight limit, but... Or maybe I also shouldn't butt quite so heavily up against that weight limit. So let's first and foremost, let's actually get this thing refueled. Let's put 100 units in here. Whoop, there we go. So I got 2 tanks full to begin with. That can sit nicely there. I'm going to do a wee spot of inventory management, and then I think we shall be on our way, because I think this thing should go. Right, it is, I think, the moment of truth. Let us see if this bird can fly. Where am I going? Where's the island? The island I want is over that way. Ah, I couldn't see it because it's behind this bar. It's here. Oh, what have I done to myself? Oh, it does ascend. Ooh, that's a promising start. I don't think there are any manta rays. I think I murdered them all. There were not many manta rays, and I think I killed the excesses. So, should we throttle up and see what happens? Well, the engines go. We lean forward very slightly. Got a little bit of a wind-up time. Those engines don't start crazy fast. But otherwise, yeah, that seems pretty good. It's definitely not an ascender. It's like my last ship. It just does not go up. But that is what pulling back is for, because then you can just use your wings and engines to ascend. So just point the ship in the direction you want it to go. If that direction is up, so be it. Let us go up. That bar is going to get on my tits so very much, though, when I fly this ship. Oh, how have I designed this thing? Oh, I'm such a fool. This is like the perfect place to put a cockpit, though. It was totally. It's got a very cockpit vibe. And we're going where we want to be going. It's all good. It's all gravy. Just hold her on this heading. Nicely ascending. We just hang on to that, just in case something untoward were to happen. Tends to happen in flight. Things untoward do happen. But otherwise, hey, we're going somewhere. Yeah, of all the instruments I got, I could probably use an altimeter the most. Or of all the instruments I need, rather. Land is coming into sight. It's been a bit of a bumpy road as things have rendered in, but this is, I hope where Tulkas is. So I'm going to park just kind of above this island when we get here, somewhere where I can just kind of drop down onto the island and go explore it some more. But ultimately, yeah, if you want to go see how Tulkas fared with getting to this island, then you can go and check out the link to his particular perspective, his little shipbuilding and solo adventure, his little, I think presumably 1 episode video, in the description below. As always, his channel will be down there as well, so if you want to go see the kind of stuff he makes, go there. He doesn't tend to do Worlds Adrift, but I forced him to do Worlds Adrift because I wanted to see how he would do on his own, and I wanted to be able to work without him, and you guys probably wanted to see how Tulkas does on his own. So everybody wins, and you get double videos from 2 different perspectives, and that's fun. Right, so I'm going to bring her to a halt. As we are kind of roughly where we need to be. If I want to drop off this, I can land on land here. We're safely well above the skies. And you know what? I don't see any manta rays, and that's definitely a good thing. That is going to be this ship's one major weak point, is that without sails, docking at islands and leaving islands is going to be, well, a fiasco, I think is what it's going to be. But there we go, we made it. That island looks really cool and is quite close to us now, so we shall have to go check that out in the near future. This thing should make it through that wall? No, that looks quite red. It will make it through that wall, which is black. Why is that? It goes white, red, black in very short order there. I think we should take it through the black wall, and then if it can do that, we should maybe try and take it through the red wall, which I know is the hard mode. And if we can get through there, maybe I can buy the upgrades, or find the upgrades, not really buy, there's no real trading. Not unless you count weird, awkward interactions with players. Yeah, they're gonna have to get the last 2 bits for this thing, which I'm concerned are gonna be massive, but hey, it'll make this thing lift. I think cumulatively the other 2 upgrades add another 3 tons of lift to this. So yeah, the first 2 upgrades are like piddly. They're 250 apiece, they're 250 kilos. The third upgrade is like 1,200 kilos, and then the 4th upgrade is like 1,800 kilos, which gives you a lot of scope for building much bigger ships. So yeah, ultimately ship weight limit in the game, I guess, capped at 4.5 tons at the moment, but for me right now, 1.5 is the limit, and this is about as big as you get for 1.5 tons for your money. In case you're interested, I think it's an alright ship for 1.5 tons. I think I've done okay. So yeah, thanks for joining me. Leave a like if you like the, what are we calling it? The Tin Pelican. Leave a like for the Tin Pelican and go check out Tulkas' video in the description below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.